Hi everybody, Dan Illman here with some exciting news. DRF Formulator, the gold standard in past performance information, is now free exclusively on DRF Bets. Join DRF Bets with the promo code WINNING, get a $250 first deposit match bonus, a $10 free bet, and free Formulator already uploaded to your account. Access Formulator's premium features, including sortable trainer stats, race replays, personalized trip notes, and lots more. Free Formulator, exclusively on DRF Bets. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, kicking off a 50-cent pick four at Gulfstream Park on Fountain of Youth Saturday with graded stakes action. Race number 10 is the Grade 2 $200,000 Gulfstream Park Mile, one-turn mile on the main track for older horses. We're going to take a look at this field in Speaker's Corner. Very, very impressive thus far in his 7-race career for trainer Bill Mott. He's earned triple-digit Beyer speed figures in 4 of his last 5 starts, including a win in the Hooper over course and distance in his seasonal debut.
Well, he's obviously very, very talented, Dan. Comes off of a nice win in the Hooper where he was, able to establish the early lead and then turn away some challengers around the turn. Pace is going to be faster this time.
I agree, and I think Timeform US does as well. Taking a peek at that pace projector, there's the red bar indicating a fast pace. Speaker's Corner likely going to have to go. Girolamo's attack is fast, but this number 5 Injunction, it looks like he's pretty quick out of the stalls.
Yeah, Injunction is sort of a major player in this race just for that reason, Dan. I do feel like he's coming out of some races where the paces, really weren't that fast, so I'll be very interested to see what happens here if he has to do some chasing early.
Safi Joseph has several horses in here, including the aforementioned number 1 Girolamo's Attack, who ran in the Hooper last time out behind Speaker's Corner, was beaten 13 lengths after pushing the pace. I wonder if he'll try to push the pace again, maybe this time as sort of a helper to the other Joseph-trained horses.
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, just based on the Hooper, he's pretty hard to like in this race. He did go after Speaker's Corner in that race around the turn. He was really no match and finished far behind. 3 starts back, he did beat Fearless over course and distance, Dan, and he earned a solid figure for that performance. But man, did he get control of a soft pace that day.
The number 2 Bourbon War won 2 of his first 3 starts, then was second in the 2019 Fountain of Youth. He hasn't won a race since, but he was claimed for $62,500 out of his last race on the turf. He's getting back to the dirt here. It's just that the recent form doesn't look inspiring. There is a hot pace scenario. Maybe he can come from out of it and claim a piece at a price.
Yeah, it is one of the things that I wanted to at least keep in mind with Bourbon War at a big price is that, he is just one of those horses who's at his best when he can just sit back and make one run into a setup. And maybe that'll happen for him here. But as you've already pointed out, his recent form is not very inspiring.
Speaker's Corner might have found the 9 furlongs too far 2 starts back when beaten at odds on by Miles D, who's a nice Chad Brown train runner. Then in the Fred Hooper last time out, the race will show you right now, he ran very, very well over course and distance. He went to the early lead. He put away 2 horses that challenged on the turn, and then he'll hold off Fearless, who's also in this race, despite drifting out a bit in the stretch. He's got a lot of talent. We'll see if they try to burn him out early.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose a faster pace could make a difference in here, Dan, but he's just the horse. He's a horse who's shown real ability from day one. It feels like he's probably still getting better. I don't think it's necessarily clear at this point that he absolutely has to be on the lead to be effective. I mean, that's where he's been in his recent starts, but I just feel like dynamics had more to do with that than anything else. This is a really talented horse, and he's the horse to beat.
The 4 Fearless, we just saw chase in second. He's hoping the pace is a little bit faster because that would definitely set him up. He loves Gulfstream Park. 6 starts, 4 wins, 2 seconds. He won the Harlan's Holiday with a really nice trip around 2 turns last time out, and he made his run at Speaker's Corner last time. He'll make his run again. It's whether he's good enough, whether he gets the right flow.
Yeah, exactly. And he went favorite over Speaker's Corner last time. And all in all, Dan, he couldn't get to that horse. We saw the replay there at the end. He just couldn't gain any late ground. I thought this horse ran fine last time in a race that didn't set up, great for him. Speaker's Corner did take some pressure around the turn, but he was basically in charge up the backstretch. This horse never stopped trying to catch him. Things could play out differently here. The pace could be faster, and it's probably more of a benefit to Fearless than it is to Speaker's Corner.
The 5 Injunction could be the key to this race. Blinkers have made all the difference for this horse in his last 2 starts in Kentucky. 2 for 2 with blinkers, both dominant blowout victories. And last time out at Churchill going the one-turn mile, he beat a horse, the third runner, that would come back, run second with a 96 buyer. So those figs, those 94s, they look legit.
I mean, they really do, and he's actually run pretty well in all four of his dirt starts, Dan. So it's not like the talent wasn't there before the two fast races. We're just going to see here as they step him way up in class into a race that, you know, has to be run at a faster pace. We'll just see if this horse is going to be able to deal with it, because his most recent win, it came back fast. He won easy. That pace was not fast.
Safi Joseph has the 6, New York Traffic, who ran so well without winning in all those Derby prep races of 2020. It was close but no cigar in every one. He finally got that stakes victory against New York breds last time out in this race, the Hudson Handicap, over sloppy going 6.5. He stayed close to the pace. He took over the lead. He won easily. The 5th place horse would come back to beat Open 2 other thens with a 90 buyer. Do you think this horse is better at slightly shorter distances? He's run very well, obviously, races like the Haskell triple-digit buyer going 1 1/8, but he puts distance between himself and the competition going a little shorter.
Yeah, he does. I think the one-turn mile is probably a good fit for this horse. I actually feel like it might be an ideal distance for him. The last time they went the mile with him, Dan, which was, of course, at Monmouth, a 2-turn mile last summer in the Salvatore, he ran great that day. That was a really fast and contested pace, and he held on for second. I don't know. This is a good distance for him. You know, I'm not going to get, you know, all crazy about his most recent win in the Hudson, where he just dominated New York breds in a relatively soft field as well. I actually feel like he fits really, really well in this race, and he's going to be forward.
Maker did it again, Mike, with the 7 Endorsed. He claimed this horse for $100,000 at Saratoga. Well, he hasn't won with him, but he's earned out thanks to that 4th in the Pegasus World Cup and the 2nd in the Mr. Prospector 2 starts back. I have a feeling this one-turn mile hits him right between the eyes. He could get a setup. He just doesn't win very often.
Yeah, cutting back really works for this horse. He just never wins. He's just really, really hard to take on top in this race, but he is going to have a setup, it appears.
Collaborate's very interesting because there's still upside here. When he began his career last year, there was a lot of buzz around him as a potential Kentucky Derby contender, and he didn't run very well in the Florida Derby, and things kind of were sidetracked. His most recent start at Gulfstream, his first race in Saratoga, was a good performance, going 6.5 furlongs. We see him in behind horses here, and he is looking for a seam turning into the stretch. He's going to bull his way out, and once he does and gets into the clear, he fires on home with a respectable 94 buyer speed figure. There might be more to come for this horse, and he's got the right running style. He can be sitting in mid-pack.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he can finally, you know, break through with a really big race against better horses, because so far that's been a real issue for him. 3 stakes tries so far. He didn't run very well in any of those races, but outside of stakes competition, he looks really good, Dan. I liked his win last time. I'm very interested to see if he can just up his game now and run a really good race here against some better horses, because so far that's been a problem for him.
Classy millionaire Diamond Oops completes this field, and it's, I think, a very good sign that Pat Biancone's wheeling this one back on relatively short notice. On February the 19th, he made his seasonal debut in the Gulfstream Sprint. It was a short field. This is a late runner that's at the mercy of pace, and I thought, all things considered, against 2 good sprinters, he ran a nice third, and it should firm him up for stretching out to the mile.
It should. This is a race that comes back fast. He was outpaced early. He's just sort of grinding through this stretch, and he's not threatening the 1-2 finishers in here. But maybe he just needed it off the layoff, Dan. I'm a little concerned that his dirt form, since he won the Phoenix way back at the end of 2020, his dirt form's not great since then. So I'm a little bit worried about that. But listen, they go fast in front of him here. He's got plenty of back races that could make him tough.
Top pick time for the Gulfstream Park Mile. Kicking off that 50-cent pick 4. Speaker's Corner just might be too good for him, Mike. He's the fastest on the way in, and we'll see if he could dissuade a quick horse in Injunction in the early part of this race.
Yeah, I took him on top too, Dan. I don't, feel like he necessarily has to win this race. I think it is going to be tougher for him this time than it was in the Hooper last time. I just feel like this horse is really good, and we may not have seen his best race yet.
Like you, I'm curious to see what Collaborate, the number 8, does, stepping up in class in his second start off the long layoff. Maybe he's just reaching maturity now as a 4-year-old. 38464 for Mike, 3854 for me. It is the Gulfstream Park Mile on Fountain of Youth Saturday at Gulfstream. Good luck.